Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Zach. Today I'm going to be giving an update on HEXO Corporations. If you'd like to watch my previous video, you'll find it in the description below. Nonetheless, this will be a whole out video that will make you able to make an educated decision for this one. Now, I usually go with technical analysis first. I'm doing this last for technical analysis, and then I'm going to dive through the due diligence and everything I could find new about this one. It's going to be a wholesome video. Make sure to drop a like to this video to help the channel grow, subscribe, and leave notifications on. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. So, HEXO. HEXO is a Canadian company with a little bit of interesting interest in the US market. Why do I say so? Well, they did sue not long time ago a company that used HEXO Cannabis or HEXO trademarked name in the US, and they got it back. So it kind of gives you a little bit of an incentive that, hey, they are interested in a future in the US. So that is good. With the recent bill that I will talk about at the end on what kind of next things coming up and how likely it's going to pass the Senate. So HEXO is an award-winning brand, or they have multiple brands, and their trademark or their house, the main product they have is HEXO. So HEXO is a award-winning cannabis brand that has earned reputation for innovative products, consumer health, and safety, premier customer service. All HEXO cannabis products are cultivated and processed in state-of-the-art facility using natural biological controls. They have the HEXO Plus, which comes from the same quality innovation that is built into HEXO's awards-winning products. Now, HEXO Plus offers a high THC cannabis content. And then they have the Original Stash. Original Stash is a straightforward and uncomplicated. That's the way your stash should be. Grown in controlled environments, Original Stash is high-quality weed sold for a lot less than you'd expect. Not really fancy, just real. A good reason to go legal. Now, the UP products are for cannabis enthusiasts who seek premium quality cannabis and experience. We combine passion for growing quality cannabis with a commitment to providing you, our consumer, a product lineup that is consistent and easy to navigate. Welcome to the Upside Canada. Alright, so you get to see a little bit of different parts here. Now, what I can go on next is the presentation, but unfortunately, this presentation is not updated. So I do expect that it's going to be updated with the next earnings coming up. Speaking of earnings, we can actually dive in a little bit now into when it's going to happen in the SEC filing. So in the SEC filing, you have the general meeting happening on December 11th, so you might get a presentation updated there. I don't see anything concerning here in terms of, hey, maybe we're getting a reverse split at this level. I don't see anything needing that anyway. Very much basic, so the general meeting is nothing but just a normal one. December 14th at 8:30 a.m. in the pre-market is going to be the first quarter of 2021 results. Now, their financial year is a little bit different than we're used to because we're expecting quarter 4, but for theirs, it's quarter 1, 2021. And I'll go through the previous earnings here in a second to kind of compare how it actually performed in the past. And so the next thing we got to do, and one of the last things here on Fintel, is their institutional buyers. ETF Managers Group has 6.96% stake as of the 16th of November. Additional institutional buyers, it seems to be a little bit off an exodus a little, seems a little bit more red than green for my liking. But it could be understandable. Maybe they held from a little bit lower, maybe at around 70 cents, and now they got around $1 something, 30%. Institutional buyers aren't always greedy. So that's something to keep in mind. Nothing dangerous. Now, insider buyers, I will go that in a second. But first, let's compare HEXO in terms of a market cap. Of course, it is a small market cap at 0.5 billion in terms of the market cap itself. Their net income is very much almost the same thing, comparable, negative 0.4 billion. So quite interesting there. It is based in Canada. Their fiscal year ends in 2021, 31st for the 7th month, with around 798 employees. Now, the next thing we can go for is their comparables. So, just a quick thing, the price per share for this company, for HEXO, is 5.3. Now, another comparable here would probably be, let me see, Sundial. Sundial has a market cap of 493. The market cap for HEXO is 514. The price per share for HEXO is 5.3. Sorry, that's price per sales. Now, the price per sales for Sundial is 1.3. Okay, so in this kind of level, you can get to see, okay, Sundial has a better advantage in price per sales. Price over book for HEXO is 1.2. The price per book for Sundial is 9.0. So it's quite interesting. I think that a lot of people have been looking into the price over sales, price of share per sale, over Sundial and thinking, okay, Sundial's a better deal. But a lot of people have missed that the price of book, which is, in my opinion, more important, HEXO is a lot better than Sundial in price per book part. Now, we can look into different parts, but we want to look back into the valuation for HEXO. So we said 1.2, the S&P average is 1.9. It's actually better than the S&P average. So that is something that is, well, when I was looking into this, it was quite surprising. Price over sales, 5.3, 1.8. If you remember, if we go back to the industry peers, we're going to see, oh, it's actually, for Sundial, is around 1.3. So yes, Sundial does meet below average, but look at the price per book for HEXO. Quite interesting. Now, we can go on a little bit further into their financials, like this part. Revenues. So, revenues for the last quarter, if we look at it here, you get to see an increase year over year from 15 to 27. That's comparable, I believe, in millions. Now, revenues here for the annual, year over year, you get to see this massive increase, and that's nice. Now, the net income here is a little bit interesting because you're getting to see a little bit of the opposite direction. So the revenue and operating income, revenue's good. Operating income is going south. Now, you look into the net income, negative 57 for 2019 for that quarter, negative 169 for the same quarter in 2020. And if you look 2018, 2019, 2020, we're going south. And that's something very concerning. Now, the next thing here is your current assets. Your current assets are almost staying around the same thing. Stockholder equity, it's a little bit mixed, nothing massive, but your total assets seems to be taking just a dip from 2019 to 2020 with a little bit of winding down. If we were to look into, let's say, the balance sheet, right on here, your total cash for 2020 is around 184. They are not very much burning into cash. It looks like they have a solid cash flow, but of course that comes in through financing, offerings, etc. Because hey, they are negative income, negative net income. We can move on now. So we already have a little bit of an idea in terms of the balance sheets. There's a lot of things to be fixed. They are improving in revenue, but net income is not. So that is something to consider. We can go on now towards the insiders. Now, on the insider buying things, I don't see anything, at least not on my platform. I tried 2 different websites. I could not find it. So if you happen to find some insider transactions, not institutional transactions, make sure to mention them down below. Some of the key execs, you can probably find them around here. And if you find any of these guys buying or selling shares for HEXO, hey, shoot them down. Mention them down in the comments below. So that kind of gives you a little bit of an overview. But before I forget, the MORE Act. The MORE Act, it passed the House, okay? Amazing. Decriminalization. It is a significant point in history. But comes the question, will it pass the Senate? That is a big question for it. Now, possible to pass the Senate, but the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, a Republican, has stated in the past that he has no intentions on passing a marijuana legalization bill anytime soon. With McConnell as a standing Senator Majority Leader as of now, who remains firmly opposed to marijuana reform, it is highly unlikely the MORE Act will pass the Senate, said Nicole Cosby, Chief Data and Compliance Officer at Philo. In 2018, in the midst of discussion around the farm bill that legalized hemp, he explicitly said he does not have any plans to endorse the legalization of marijuana, adding that he considers marijuana and hemp to be 2 entirely separate plants. Alright, so now we get an idea of this one here. Is it going to pass? Hey, it is possible. If the Senate seats kind of go to the Senate seats for Georgia goes to the Democrats, that is highly likely. Now comes quickly through technical analysis before I give my 2 cents at the end. Now, we look into the 1-week perspective. It really looks sloppy. Moving averages are going from bearish to bullish. Nothing to write home about here. 1-day perspective, it looks really bullish. And we get to see, it's a little bit interesting because it has a chance of a pullback sometime in the next week. That's what the technical indicators are saying. ADX above 50, that's where reversals are likely. Moving averages are all bullish, all the way down to the 85 cents. That's where the trading action zone between the 10 SMA and SMA. The stock price is above the 50 SMA and the 200 SMA. Volume percent R is somewhere around neutral, MACD retracting, and so is momentum. on a 2-hour perspective, what we get to see here is something along the same realm. It's below the trading action zone, so that's dangerous. It looks like it's almost moving sideways with a chance of going bearish. Moving average bands, what we get to see is 95 cents on the top, 86 in the middle, and 78 on the bottom, with the unbalanced volume to be retracting. That means some investors are looking to cash out and run away before it potentially drops. Now, the stochastic fast and the stochastic slow are both saying, hold on. The stochastic slow is saying, hey, there might be another leg. The fast is saying, potentially another leg, just be careful. Now, the charts here, Fibonacci retracement, supports, and resistances are as follows. The current support sits at 86 cents and 34 cents. Current significant resistances sit at 118 and 144, followed by 170, 207, and 254. Now, significant Fibonacci retracements gives us a bit of an idea on significant support lines and resistances. But nothing better than a traditional one. 102 for support here, and then below there we're looking down to, right here, around 89 cents, 89 to 82, 82 to 66. From 66 you go all the way down to 58, and from 58 you're looking to 45. Let's complete this line quickly, and then resistances here, what we get to see is 118 as a resistance, followed by 124, followed by 134, followed by 151, and then 167, 190, and then $2. So coming in now to my 2 cents. I see there's a lot of potential with this. They had interest in the US. Now, their only big problem for me is their net income. Now, if you put it into the MORE Act and whatnot, is it going to pass the Senate or not? It eventually probably will. If not this year, probably if the Democrats get a majority Senate, and it happens every so years, they switch back and forth. And then, you know, this one probably, well, most likely would pass sometime in the future. When is the question? And you always got to remember, buy the rumors, sell the news. That's a dangerous fact. The big thing about it is their earnings coming up. I would sell before earnings for one reason. I've seen stocks where they had good earnings and then it tanked. I've seen stocks, well, of course, had good revenue but bad net income and it tanked. And you get to see the net income is looking dangerous. And so I want to get out with the hype and cash out before people realize, hey, the net income is not looking that good. Nonetheless, you get to see the price over book is really, really good. It's better than the SP 500. And so I think this one here, in the long term, for price over book, not price over sale, is undervalued. For price over sales, it might be a little bit dangerous there. The net income is dangerous. The revenue has potential. They need to do some balance sheet proper fixing there, and you know, they get back and come up with a plan. I'm really looking forward for the presentation, but for me, I would not hold through the earnings. What do you think about the sticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like. You have a wonderful day. And if you've been this long in this video, you'll find in the link below, Discord link, where we just talk about technical analysis, everything in between, with no fees whatsoever. It's just a community that I'm building. Have a wonderful day.